this is a new one. Benefiting from the sabotage of the poor is disgraceful. You see how this guy has a suit on? It's pointing to the blood money. Okay, so we can rule those guys out as ideal. Lucifer, I put a starving child, I believe is from Yemen, next to him. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, not necessarily those guys in particular, whether I believe it's not for the purpose of this video to maintain the rules. Okay, and you see how these people look. Okay, with that being said, obviously, my top martial arts challenge. Okay, and it says there, top martial artist challenge going since 12/20/2013. Look it to the right. You see how I look a lot bigger in that picture? I look different. And some people have even noticed, and they say, people who know me, you say, hey, at least one person rather, said, hey, you look different in that picture. Yep, because they're editing my pictures, okay? And we see this, I look at the body shape. It's a little bit different here. Look at the body shape there. This is closer to how it was, right? This is from 2012. They edited the pectorals to make it so they look like they're gay Greek, body. That's why I put that one on the right there, on the bottom right here, okay? Because they want their gay body, right? The kind of flabby, body fat and pecs instead of kind of a more defined pecs. Okay. And of course, look at this one. Look at the body shape. And look at this one, okay? Now look at how I put the outmaneuver there. Can you imagine you see this? This is outmaneuver and focus. You think, I would be a weird, unfocused person? No, okay? They cannot beat me, and it's obvious. And so people are basically saying, fuck you to me, okay? And they're playing stupid, right? It says prevent the rise of Messiah, right there. Okay, I went over this before, academia.edu, it says Shaka Rising, right? So you're looking for someone who is an African martial artist who they're trying to prevent the rise of, okay? Because better than Martin Luther King is someone who's more transcendent and morally precise than Martin Luther King, who's a martial artist, okay? And faster and master are connected. The falcon is the fastest animal. It flies 242 miles an hour in a diving attack. 242 miles an hour and strikes down, okay? This is key. Okay, you see these guys like, oh, we're getting into, do you think I should be shunned, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, and I used to look better than that picture looks right there. And for a long time, they do things with the lens to try to make my forehead look bigger at times. Okay, even in this picture right here, it looks a little bit less proportionate than it looks in real life. And this picture is after they film and poison me, and they do things with the lens to make it so I look different. I don't look as Jewish-ish historically as they made it look. See this guy right here, for example, he looks like Jewish-ish. He has kind of, and Jewish-ish, right? Even this guy right here, that kind of look right there, whatever it is, these guys, right? It's some kind of white or Jewish-ish look is how most people would describe it. And it's very common, especially this guy who's crossed out over here, right? That look, okay, in a certain Jewish variation is how they try to make it so I look in a lot of these pictures. And in some picture, it's more obvious than in others. And certainly in this picture right here, see how it's like a nerdy Jewish-ish look versus this picture, which they also changed. It's more of like a soft-skinned African look. Okay, and that has implications on brain function. And see, this guy has a liberal kind of gender-neutral look. Okay, key in the communication from God is how I naturally look. God does not naturally look like a Jew, especially not a nerdy liberal Jew, with all due respect. Doesn't look like this gay guy up here or those kiss guys there. God does not promote the Greek body on the bottom right. Okay, it says use the power of evolution to get a Greek God body. It's crystal clear what's going on here. Look at this girl up here, that kind of natural African-ish look, okay? A more sane, kind of down-to-earth look. Okay, this has to be said because the image, the spiritual image of Christ is the image of God. And a bunch of mockers are like, well, make it seem like he's a liberal guy so we can throw it off. And it's fucking sick. So they basically provoke the hell out of me by saying all kinds of shit to me behind the scenes. Okay, knowing that Isaiah 59:17 makes it clear that someone like me, the Bible's talking about someone like me, what is superimposed on me, the King of Kings, the top martial artist. Okay, he wrapped himself in zeal as a cloak. We'll say, well, brother, how do you know that it's you? We'll look at Proverbs 34 right there. Who but God goes up to heaven and comes back down? Who holds the wind in his fists? Who wraps up the oceans in his cloak? Who has created the whole wide world? What is his name and what is his son's name? Okay, he holds it in his fists. The Lord is the warrior, the Lord is his name. And what does this say right here? He wrapped himself in zeal as a cloak. So he has zeal for the Lord, zeal for his house will consume him. Okay, and he gathers up the wind, the marshaling force of God in his martial arts style, and he conveys righteousness and justice, and the marshaling force of God, the spirit of justice, the warrior spirit, righteousness, etc. Not some unfocused liberal chick who should submit immediately. Not some unfocused frat guys. Dude. Not some Conan Barbarian. I'm a brute, man. Not some knuckleheads called Scatterbrain in the band and everyone like them. Not some mocker-ass ninnies. Not some Quaker Oats smell guy. Not some, hey, guys. Not Weird Al Yankovic. Not some arrogant guys, okay? The marshaling force of the top martial artist. And this picture is one of the closest to it, but it's not quite how I looked. I looked more handsome and masculine, and I was more defined than it seems in this picture. If you look very carefully, you can tell that it doesn't make sense that I'm flexing the way I am and my muscles look that flabby. How could that be? Okay? I'm 6'4". Look at this, 6'4", about 190 pounds. With that much flab, I'd be like 210, 215. Okay? I wasn't even that thick. You look at this picture. The gi is flapping in a way that confuses how big I am. That's one of the issues. But they're also editing my pictures. They do a lot of steps to confuse this. They're fanatically Vertuvian man lunatics. Even look at this Shaka Rising. Why is that guy depicted like an African American or something? That's not how Zulus look. They're like tall and skinny or short and skinnier for the most part. They don't look like this big wide gym body. Okay, because these are the weird, Greek body guys who want to confuse everything. It says use the power of evolution to get a Greek god body. They want to use science and technology and fumes and drugs, and they deal in contrast and not truth.